Good morning. This is Lynn from Alamosa Quilt Company. The shop's not quite open yet, so I thought I would do a short video about a question I get asked a lot, and it's how do you buy fabric for a whole store? Well, it's not easy. And it's an art more than a science, but there is a little bit of a science to it. So I thought I would briefly go through how I do it. Other shop owners do it differently. I'm not saying this is the way everybody does it. This is the way I do it. So there's three ways really to buy fabric. You can go to market and make appointments with the fabric reps there and the companies, sit down there, buy. Some people do it that way. They buy all their fabric for the year at the various markets. I don't really like to do that. When I go to market, I'm not really buying fabric. I'm more looking for new notions, display ideas, trying to make connections with pattern designers or, other things than buying fabric. The second way that a shop owner can buy fabric is online, just like you do. All the fabric companies have websites. They all have a wholesale side. And so you just log into the wholesale side. It looks pretty much like any other fabric website where, there's the picture of the fabric. The amounts, of course, are different. You're buying bolts instead of yardage. And sometimes you can buy a 10-yard bolt or a 12-yard bolt or a 15-yard bolt. Sometimes you have choices with how much yardage. Other times you're getting what you're getting. You buy a bolt and whatever they say the amount is on the bolt, that's what you get. The third way, which is the way I like to do it, is having sales rep appointments. So a sales rep will call me. I'm going to be in your area this time. Can we get together? Make an appointment, and they come in and they show me the fabrics and I buy from that. When the sales reps come, or when you go to market, this doesn't work online, obviously, but mostly they have cards. Like here's one for Grunge from 2019, and they look like this. And they open way out with all the colors. Sometimes they're smaller, like this one. And then it opens out like that. It's kind of like refolding a map, though. Every single fabric company, their things fold back together differently, and I just let sales reps do that. Here's another one. This is from Paintbrush Studio. Opens out like that. This one's kind of cute. I like the way they did the hexagons to cut everything. This is the bedrock that we've had. And then here's one from Maywood. So mostly they look like that. Some fabric companies send their sales reps with actual fabric samples, and they look a lot like when you go to get your couch upholstered or something. They have all the little samples with the paper at the top and just a little bit of the fabric is stapled to it. Sometimes if it's a full collection, there'll be just one header, they call them, with all the fabrics on there from that collection. I like that better because you can kind of feel them, but the hexagon one isn't like that, but the Grunge one, you can kind of feel these two. See, they're only attached at about a ½ inch at the top, and they overlap, and so you can feel the quality. But I usually order from companies that I'm familiar with. Their quality is pretty consistent between collections. So once you felt one, you've kind of felt them all. I have a budget for every month based off of sales from the past for those months, and I kind of have just sort of a guess as to how much money I can spend. Most fabric companies, the fabric ships at a specific time. And if my budget for March is full and the only time they can ship it is March, then I have to pass. It's just, it's no different than you. I have a budget. I have only so much I can afford each month. And if I have to take it in a month where my budget is already spent, then I can't have it. So that's the way it is. How do I decide? Ugh. Deciding is just an art form. There really is no science to it. There's 4 reasons to buy something. Number 1 is I need to fill a hole. Like I try to buy 1 or 2 basics collections every year. Like Grunge is a basic, solids are a basic. That Bedrock that I showed you, that's a basic. I've bought the Spectrum, which is a basic, and I've got a couple, I've already ordered my basics for next year. We're getting Dry Brush from Wilmington, and another one I can't think of at the moment, but it's written down in my spreadsheet. Second reason to buy it is because I love it. I mean, I'm just like you, just like you. If I love it and absolutely have to have it, and I can afford it, then I get it. But again, if it's has to be shipped in a month where, you know, I don't have budget for it, some companies will allow you to, they'll do what they call pack and hold. And so they'll hold it for a few weeks, you know, maybe into the next month, some of them even into a second month. And so, you know, if I love it and I can push it back a little bit, then I do that. But sometimes I just ask the sales rep, what other stores have you sold this to that I can call and get what I need? So, so I love it is the second reason. The third reason is I think you'll love it. And then the fourth reason is I've got a great project in mind, something that I'm gonna do with it. So that's, in a nutshell, kind of how you buy fabric for an entire store. It's not easy. It's fun. You know, until the bill comes, but hopefully you've come and bought some to help me pay for it. Thanks for listening, and it looks like I've got somebody at the door, so I need to go.